Super. BS.
Josh,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going pretty good. How are you? How's your E3?
It's good, man. It's taken a little bit getting used to this all digital thing.
I know it's weird.
Like
We're
I,
all getting used to it.
yeah. Well, I'm like, cause I'm out here in like rural Texas, so like the internet's not as like awesome out here, I guess. So I like the in-person experience a little bit better.
Yeah, me too. I honestly miss it. Well, maybe next year. Who knows?
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, like I guess I introduced myself. I'm Rick from Roost Games, and I wanna thank you for hanging out and checking out Cat Cafe Manager.
Yeah, I'm excited. I had actually heard about this game a while back, so I'm excited to kind of get to
Really
take a look at it. Yeah.
awesome. I gotta ask, Josh, are you a dog or a cat person? It's
Uh,
very important.
I'm a dog person, but I don't mind cats. I just got my
Honestly, Josh, I am also a dog person. But
oh,
don't tell anybody else from the team at Roost Games.
okay, all right.
So you should have a key, I think, to the demo.
Yeah,
But would you like me to stream out the game to you and we'll talk about it?
yeah, that's that'd be good.
Oh, let me do that. You said your internet was low. I'll go on a lower resolution. Let me know if the stream works and if it works well and you can see the game.
Okay, so I'll go watch stream. All right, I see it.
Yeah, you're seeing it?
Yep.
Cool, man. All right, so hold on. Got my audio. Let me turn the audio on. Here we go. So this is Cat Cafe Manager, a relaxing business sim in which you construct and manage your very own cat cafe, like the one I have here. This is a this is a fairly sizable, I would say mid to late game cat cafe. I've got my little area set up here for my cats that come chill and hang out. And then, because it is a cat cafe for people, this is where my customers can sit down and get served food and relax and such. That's sort of the main goal of the game, is to serve customers so that they pay you different kinds of resources, which means that you can then expand your cafe, adopt more cats, and make the cat cafe of your dreams, sort of.
So
Um,
are there like not mission, but like are there objectives? Do
mhm.
customers come in and ask you to do things like certain things for them, or is it just kind of the same thing throughout?
Well, hold on, getting a present here. So each different kind of customer has different needs that they would like to fulfill while in your cat cafe. So what we have here, oh, he left. Never mind. What we have here is a fisherman, and this is one of the 6 different kinds of customer groups that we'll visit. And in the bottom right, you can see all the like his level of satisfaction and all the things that they would like from your cat cafe. So a fisherman would like to eat a nice sandwich, and they would like to hang out with cats. All customers would like to hang out with cats, but each cat also is good at sort of hanging out with different kinds of customers. So if we look at Mallory here, at the bottom right, we'll see they have a 3 score in business people and a 2 score in artists. So they can hang out with business people and artists. I actually don't really have a cat that fishermen enjoy hanging out with. So I might consider adopting a cat that is like fishermen enjoy hanging out with, kind of like fat cats that like being pet and stuff. So I might get a cat that fits that profile.
So how do you
You're not
adopt?
always going to meet the. Oh yeah, sure. I can show how you adopt new cats. So essentially, the town that you live in is filled with stray cats, and you can purchase these lures, like these stray lures, to put them out, and essentially stray cats will come and flock to your cafe, and then you can pet them, slowly win their trust, and eventually adopt them and give them a home in the cafe. And there's many different kinds of lures to collect. This is just a couple. And each lure will attract different kinds of cats to your cafe. Like these rustic greens lure will attract crude cats who love nature. So that might actually help me with that fisherman problem that I was talking about. I'm going to buy that. And you can then put them out here. Choop. And this is just passively, like cats will start swarming to that. There's a bunch of cats in the game to collect. I'm not going to compare it to another creature collection game, but we have definitely been inspired by something like that.
Okay.
Something like, yeah, I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that is how you unlock and sort of adopt new cats. The difficulty of these different kinds of customers will also increase throughout the game. So a customer might now be happy with the cup of coffee that you can make them, like this one, but eventually they'll want like something new or something more special. It could also mean that you would have to increase the skills of your staff. So by doing this, for example, I'll go over to my character here and train them. They have a cooking stat of just 1, so I'm going to increase that. So now it's a 2. Hopefully that makes all their all the food that they prepare a little bit better, and will make your customers that want those kinds of foods a little bit happier. Go.
The more people that come in, can you expand the building at all? Is there a function that
you sure can? In fact, yeah, like this is like I said, a sort of a mid-level cafe that I've built and decorated myself. But I'll actually jump out and start a new game just to give you a sense of how you then get there.
Okay.
Because definitely like expanding your cafe and collecting new furniture is a big part of the game. The game also has a story. I'll just click through it here, but essentially you play a character that moves from the big city to a small countryside village, where they find out that their grandma was running a cat cafe. And as it tends to happen in these kinds of games, you have to take over the family business. Here we have the first character that we meet is Bonner, an old friend of your grandma's. He's going to help you set up at the start of the game here. You also get to create your own character. I'm going to make myself as best as I can. That's me. And like I mentioned, you have all those stats. So you also get to pick a starting personality trait that is going to change some of those stats. So if I'm a social butterfly, I'll be a little bit better at talking to people and serving foods. If I'm gentle, I'll be a little bit better at taking care of cats. And if I'm a gourmand, I'll be a little bit better at cooking and doing stuff in the kitchen. Is there one that jumps out at you here, you think?
Let's see. I like the social butterfly one. Sounds good.
Nice. I'll be a social butterfly. You get to name your cafe. I'll just go with the basic name here. And I'm not going to make the comparison again, but you do get to select your starting companion from 3 starter cats.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, each cat has their own stats and personality as well. For example, Brian here is a weirdo, which means that they have a higher bladder need. They're going to pee on the floor, whether you want to or not.
Okay.
But they also appeal to witches, which is another one of the customer groups. I'll go with Brian. Get to pick a little gift here. Got a nice chair. Yeah, so at the start of the game here, it's just an empty field. There's nothing here. So I'm going to go into the cafe design tool, and this is where we get to construct our floor plan and expand and put in decorations and things like that. I'm just going to set up a basic cafe here. I think this will be my kitchen area. This is going to be where customers can sit down. You can also unlock new wallpapers and floor tiles as well. Go.
So once you have it built, can you add on if you want to, or is that once it's built, it's built?
Yeah, for sure, you can. No, you certainly can. There's a number of different resources in the game to unlock, and materials is the thing that you need to keep expanding. So for this demo, I'm going to start out with a bunch of resources, but in the actual game, when it comes out, you're going to start off with a tiny little cafe because you only have a small amount of materials to work with. And as you gather more materials, you'll be able to slowly start expanding until hopefully eventually you can fill this entire field with different rooms and places for your cats and customers to sit. I'm going to make sure I have a door. I'm going to put a sink in my kitchen so I can serve glasses of water to my customers. I'm going to put in a toilet and some tables for people to sit at. Put in some chairs here. This is just kind of basic stuff that's required. Like I said, for this demo, we're just starting off with a whole bunch of resources and things and furniture as well to put down. It all starts a little bit slower in the actual game.
Yeah.
So here we go. This is our little basic cafe. And these customers are going to come in one by one. Vagabonds like this one are kind of the tutorial customer group, I think. So they're fairly easy to please. They also don't pay out a lot. We also start here with an NPC helper. Again, in the main game, this is mostly here so I can, keep talking while doing this demo, and I don't have to worry too much about the cafe running itself.
Yeah.
In the basic game, you're definitely going to have to work towards being able to hire staff members. And as your cafe keeps increasing in size, you might want to hire more than just the one to help out.
So do you?
Oh, my cat's actually complaining. Sorry.
Oh, do you want so you please the customers, you get more money, and then the more money allows you to like add more things and hire people? Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. There is like one, I guess, extra element to it, and I'll explain that when I talk to this witch here. This is Carla Lala, your first regular that you meet. Regulars are named unique characters that keep visiting your cafe. And if you create a cafe that they like with cats that they enjoy being with, you can slowly befriend them and do all that kind of stuff. And she explains here, she's going to tell us, hey, these witches live in the village and they would like to visit. And she explains witches pay in nectar. So each customer group pays a different kind of resource. So instead of money, witches give nectar, which is used to expand your menu. So this you can buy new recipes and ingredients with that resource. And there's 6 customer groups and 6 resources. So depending on what you want to expand about your cafe, you can actually advertise to these different customer groups with this little advertising menu here. I'm going to put that, take down my advertisement to vagabonds, just advertise to witches. And with that, you can sort of say, okay, I want to, for example, purchase some new furniture. I would have to advertise to artists. Artists pay in jewels, and jewels are used to purchase furniture. So I can sort of plan out what my current goals are using that. So she would like a cup of tea, but all we have is a glass of water from the sink. I'm going to go over to the town map here, where we can go to a couple of different shops. And I'm going to visit the market. This is where we buy food-related stuff. So she wanted that tea, and so will the other witches that visit, actually. So I'm going to buy this black tea recipe. And then the game is going to tell me, hey, to make black tea, you're going to need some tea leaves. So I'm going to buy some of those. And you're going to need a coffee machine, because obviously you use those to make tea. So I'm going to go to this other shop where we buy decorations and appliances. I'm going to purchase that coffee machine and put that in my kitchen. There we go. And I will make her tea. Nice. Yeah, so like you mentioned, this is sort of I guess in a microscopic look at the loop of the game is you are meeting your customers' needs so that they will pay out these different resources, which you can then use to expand your cafe in different ways. Like you mentioned, expanding the cafe's floor plan, like in the design tool here, like we want this to be bigger. For that, we require materials. Those are paid out by a different customer group called the punks. So whenever punks show up, that is your way of earning some materials to expand the floor plan of your cafe.
Okay, and how often do they come into the cafe?
That is up to you. You can control that using this advertising menu.
Okay.
So if I want to very specifically advertise to punks, I could just say like, take them all down here, just advertise the punks, and then only punks will show up. And I can even like maybe change up my cafe a little bit to appeal more to punks to make sure that they like it and they give a ton of resources.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
And then do you just kind of buy more appliances based on the clientele? Like if someone comes in and wants like a beer, is there an appliance you have to buy for the beer, or you have to put in like a bar top or something?
Yeah, let's see. Actually, we'll go here. Yeah, so the simple beer recipe just requires a fridge and a cooking skill of 1. So it's very, and we need to buy some bottled beer. So essentially, if we buy a fridge and some bottled beer, we can serve that. There is a later game, like fancy beer recipe, and for that you might need like, I don't remember from the top of my head, but you need a couple of other things in your kitchen to make sure you can prepare that beer. I'm gonna buy a fridge. I can't buy a fridge. Oh, here we go. This is I need about 50 more nectar to purchase that fridge. So no beer for my customers just now. So I'm gonna go into my menu, take beer off the menu, and here we can also see which kinds of customers like the different things on my menu. So a beer is enjoyed by punks. I'm going to take that off for now because we don't have a fridge. But once we have a fridge, I'll get the beer back on there. Here at the end of the first day, we'll get introduced to, I guess, the main narrative of the game, which is this mysterious black cat called the Grimalkin visits you, and they talk. Like mysterious black cats often do. And they're basically telling you about like, hey, I used to know your grandmother, and she was helping me out with something, and I would like you to continue her work. So she takes you to this simple beer requires fridge. I know. She takes you to this ancient shrine in the woods, dedicated to cats. And she wants you to help her renovate the shrine and sort of bring it back to its former glory. To do so, you essentially need the help from all your customers. So if you make your customers happy, they can come and help you renovate the shrine. If we just click through the story here, the shrine, as you can kind of see here, is also the tech tree for the game. This is how you're going to be unlocking new recipes, new things to put in your kitchen, the ability to hire more staff. So we start with some things unlocked here. You can also unlock new furniture sets here, like a tea room set or an American diner set. And new tools to make sure that your cats are relaxed and happy, like litter boxes that they can pee in so they don't pee on the floor, or cat toys or scratch poles and that kind of thing. Nicer food bowls, all kinds of stuff. Okay. Yeah, so here is also the homebrew beer recipe. So I'm going to have to work quite a bit to unlock the homebrew beer recipe, but when I do, I'm sure my punk customers will enjoy that. This is also where you increase the difficulty of the game. Yeah, like when I first talked about the game, I called it a relaxing business sim, and that's pretty important to us, that the game has like a crunchy management underbelly, but is never like frustrating or like pressured, like you feel pressured while playing it.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to decide when you want to level up one of these many customer groups, which means that they become more difficult, but it also means that they pay out a lot more resources. So if you feel ready for it, you're like, okay, I'm going to upgrade all the witches in the town so that they become more difficult to please, but I'm going to get a lot more nectar. And some of the later game stuff requires a ton of resources. So you might want to consider upgrading your difficulty.
So that helps like the speed of the game, I guess. If you up the difficulty and got more resources, you could play through it faster.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you want to just take it super easy, that's, I guess, totally fine. The game will never become more difficult, but it's going to take quite a while for you to be able to unlock some of the higher level kitchen appliances and things like that. So there is sort of like a natural point where you sort of feel like, okay, I think it's time to up the difficulty for myself. At least that's the intended goal in the design.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, here's another regular. This is Finley, and she's going to introduce us to another customer group, the artists. Like I mentioned, they pay with jewels, which are used to purchase furniture. Especially the high-level furniture requires a bunch of jewels.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess we sort of have seen a like a basic look at the loop of the game. As you progress, like you're gonna have to take new things into consideration, like higher level customers also want your cafe to be a certain size, so you might need to expand, or they want the cafe to be clean to a certain degree. So you better not have cats peeing on the floor, or they'll be unhappy. And in that same vein, later game cats also want different things, like maybe toys or scratch poles that they can scratch when they get stressed out. So you're constantly having to sort of reevaluate the things you need to make your cafe run smoothly.
Okay. So I have a question for you. Is this game going to be coming out on Nintendo Switch? Because this feels like the perfect Switch game.
Well, I'm happy you ask, actually, because we're really excited to announce here at E3 the fact that Cat Cafe Manager is coming to Nintendo Switch as well.
Awesome. Okay.
In addition to PC.
Good. Yeah. I mean, this seems like the perfect game to kind of just like lay on the couch with the Switch on.
Yeah. That makes me super happy to hear you say that. My cat's freaking out, so I need to calm them down. Because we think so too. Like we think this could be a really nice fit to just idle away with your Switch and sort of like slowly expand your cafe and meet these different characters and
Yeah, so what I'm enjoying about this video is that, or watching you play this, is that it doesn't feel like there's any pressure to like sit down and play it all in one sitting. You can it seems like a really recreational game, something like you can come home after work and play for an hour or two, and then come back to it the next day.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. That totally fits with I think how we would like people to interact with the game. I'm happy to hear you say that. All right, so yeah, I think we saw most of the basic elements of the game here. Gonna get a present from my friend. Is there any last things, like any other things that I can help you out with? Any questions you have or things you would like to know about?
I guess I just have one more question. Is there a limit to how many cats you can have in your cafe, or is that kind of dictated by the size of it?
There is a limit that you can upgrade throughout the game as well. So here we have an upgrade from the shrine that's like more cats, more better. Adds 2 cat limit slots. So you can expand that as well. And we are sort of, we're still like heavy in development. Like you're kind of looking at an alpha build here, I would say. So we're still fine tuning like where we want the game to end up in terms of how many cats are there at one time. Like maybe, I don't know yet how we're going to solve the issue of like too many cats. Maybe you have like a roster of cats that you are keeping off to the side and then a couple that you're keeping in the cafe actively. But that's something that we're still figuring out.
Okay.
To be completely honest.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm excited for it either way because it kind of looks like it's my speed.
Awesome. I'm super happy to hear you say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.
Thanks. No, thank you for taking the time to hang out and take a look at the game. And Josh, I'll say, if you manage to play the demo still, or if you have any other questions or comments, you can always hit me up here on Discord or over on Twitter. Look for Rick from Roost Games, and that's totally fine. We can talk if you'd like.
All right, yeah, definitely. I mean, after the game comes out, I don't know if you'd be interested in jumping on the podcast and chatting about it for a little bit, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I would love doing that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I see the cat just had an accident on the floor there.
Oh, no. Yeah, this is bound to happen. I still don't have my litter boxes set up, so this kind of thing is going to happen. And I only have one cat, so it's not a huge issue. Like every once in a while, I'll have to make sure But the moment that you have like 4 cats running around, it becomes a problem for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when your customers start becoming unhappy whenever they see pee on the floor. But yeah, that's the thing.
I like all the little like extra
Josh.
elements.